And one of the things I remember clear as a bell about my racing days back in the 70s in Amar, and that's my race bike, one of them, 157. One of the things I always remember, as clear as a bell, was that sound of going through the gears. Down in Bridgehampton and Loudon, going through all the gears and then downshifting. The sound of the two strokes was just something that's embedded in your mind and you never really get rid of it. Well, I thought there's a lot of young guys and a lot of subscribers to our channel that have never heard that sound of a two-stroke with tuned exhaust going through the gears. I thought I'd dig up some footage and share it right now. Now, some of the footage, and this is from 9 years ago, I had gotten a set of DG pipes, and believe it or not, a friend of mine, Malcolm in Florida, found these on sale, and so I couldn't resist. Now, the problem is the 350 and the 400 are not really interchangeable, as Luciano recently found out and confirmed in my mind that the parts that connect to the engine were slightly different, needed to be changed. Getting the old mufflers off, of course, this is the easiest part of all. There's several little things before you jump on a set of tuned pipes for your two-stroke. You really do have to rejet it, and you should anyway. And you really, in the case of the RD400, and I believe the 352 is exactly the same, you've got to remove the center stand and modify the side stand. Both of those can be a bigger job than you think it is to get everything just right. And to get the engine to seal up by the exhaust can be a little tricky. Let's leave it at that. But when you're done, if you love the sound of that two-stroke going through the gear sound, there's no other way to get it than with a set of tuned pipes. And as I found out over the years, they can be a little loud, just a little. And 9 years ago, we were riding in a relatively desolate place in Harriman Park where there were no houses, no baby carriages, nobody would turn you in for having a loud bike. That's not the case now, but back in the day, we really liked these tuned pipes. That is one unique sound, unlike an R6, unlike an R1, unlike anything in motorcycling. And back in the Amar days, we would wear a flat spot out from, it would grind on the ground, basically right under the foot peg. And sooner or later, you'd have to get a welder to come in and weld in a big fish plate there, or else you would just have an open exhaust. Now, the late Kenny Augustine did a lot of the tuning on all of my two-strokes and the porting and the polishing and putting in different reed cages and different things, everything he did. But this bike is basically a stock bike. This is not really a race bike, but the RD350 was. It was so peaky, it was almost unrideable on the street. This isn't. Now, one thing about once you tune two strokes, and especially the exhaust is one of the biggest parts. One of the things you'd notice is it uses a lot more gas. They use a lot to begin with, and they don't get any better with the tuned pipes. But that sound, I don't know what to say. Now, a little thing I did to the DG pipes is I bound them together with a hose clamp right underneath where the kickstand, the center stand used to be, just to give me a little more ground clearance. And I had heavier shock springs on this bike, of course, and bigger tires, so it was a combination. Now, over the 12 years that I've owned this bike, I've made a lot of changes, made a lot of parts, made a seat cowl, changed the pipes, changed the carbs, drilled the discs, have 3 sets of shocks, and every part of it. It's been a great bike, so much fun to experiment with, and so much fun to ride. But back in the day when you'd be on a starting grid at any of the races where basically all the bikes were 350 Yamahas, most of them, and they'd all go wide open pretty much at the same time. The smoke looked like the place was on fire, and the sound, that sound that has stayed with me for many, many years. And in the years since we rode in Harriman Park on a regular basis, the area where we ride now is heavily populated in some spots, and the tune pipes were definitely not doing me any favors. About at this time is when I got the original radar detector, and I started being very aware of not getting tickets and not having issues with the law. So between the radar detector and the bike, I decided the noise, the tune pipes, over one of the winters, 3 or 4 years ago, I put the stock exhaust back on, and I did a thing, and it's out on the channel, of replacing the carburetors with brand new Makunis. I have a dedicated video. Well, there's a lot of videos of two strokes out there. If you search my channel with RD400, you find out there's a lot of videos. In fact, some people have made a playlist and told me there's over 100 videos of RDs and two strokes out on the channel. But anyway, for people that are so inclined to do that, that's really nice. And playlists are fine. They're a lot of fun if you like one subject and you want to play all of the RD videos at once. In my case, I don't do that. But I did enjoy the sound of even the two-stroke, the way with the stock mufflers. It's a unique sound. You never go through the gears with this bike and somebody doesn't look down the road and go, what is that? It doesn't sound like a motorcycle. It doesn't sound like this, that, or the other thing. And it's that sound. But as much as I love the tune pipe sound, if we were back at Harriman Park or we were riding in the middle of Wyoming or something, it would be cool. These pipes, a couple of nice things. You do get better mileage. That's one thing nice. And the engine is very easy to tune with the stock mufflers, any little idiosyncrasies you have with it. And it still is so much fun to ride. And over the years, I started riding, I can't even remember how long ago, in the early 60s. I was still in high school when I had my first dirt bike. Oh, those days have come and gone. And I'm 79 years old now, and all those years, I still, every one of them, I have remembered the sound of the two-strokes, and I really do love two-strokes. There's no secret about that. And thanks so much for watching.